Joining us now is national security expert and U.S. Army combat veteran of Iraq and Afghanistan, Ricoh Danielson. Ricoh, thank you so much for joining us on News Nation Now.
Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
So that clip that we just played of Zelenskyy and Starmer there at 10 Downing, what did you make of that exchange? Completely different to what we saw in the Oval Office. It was more what I thought we would see in the Oval Office yesterday.
Yeah, it was quite a bit of a rebound on that spicy, event over there at the White House. Zelenskyy went to the White House demanding pretty much bread, beans, and bullets, weaponry, and people and whatnot, as if he was talking to the last administration. It didn't work out too well. Now that he's meeting with the UK leadership and also probably more likely the EU leadership, that'll actually give a different perspective and put the onus back on that region, which should be so, on top of the United States support. I don't believe that the peace deal is done. It's not dead yet, but I think there's still more that needs to be massaged, and we'll more than likely see a peace deal by the end of the year of this.
So what happened yesterday? How did this go pear-shaped so fast? I mean, we'd heard from Trump saying he thinks they're close to a deal. It seems like Zelenskyy wouldn't have come and even had that photo op if they weren't both ready to sign. What happened, you think?
Yeah, I think a few things happen here. One, you have a very bullish president, which is a good thing. He's a deal maker and whatnot, and you have a bullish president who's in the middle of a conflict, and none of them compromise. And unfortunately, whenever another president of a foreign country comes to the United States saying that we will feel the consequence if we don't provide medical aid or foreign aid or whatever, the United States doesn't take too well to bullies and stuff like that. So they just said, hey, no, thank you very much. Get on with the get on. It's time to move forward. Go seek, aid somewhere else. And that's kind of puts Ukraine in a very tough battle. But although in the same aspect, it puts Ukraine in a different strategic perspective, so they can actually engage local regional leaders to help support them, though.
Yeah, and Zelenskyy has said, look, I've been thankful for the last 3 years. And then again, today, he reiterated that. But apparently, it was not enough for President Trump and J.D. Vance. I mean, they were on him. One of the things that was, this was a flashpoint that set off the dispute, was Zelenskyy outlining past attempts at dealing with Russia. Let's take a look at that.
In 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel, we signed ceasefire. Ceasefire. All of them told me that he will never go. We signed with him with gas contract. Gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broken this ceasefire. He killed our people, and he didn't exchange prisoners.
So we thought they were going to have this deal between the United States and Ukraine for rare earth minerals and being able to share the revenue from that. And that, of course, is, it seems like it's certainly in jeopardy today. And the sticking point here was Zelenskyy saying he needed security guarantees from the United States. And that's something that Trump has not wanted to give. But does the Ukrainian president have a point? Can Russia be trusted to make a deal? Or if they make a deal, are they just going to come fight again?
I think both organizations, both countries cannot be trusted, to be honest with you. Ukraine is very much known to have their hands in very dark markets. And also Russia is Russia. They'll just, go back on their deal. So I think both have to be a balancing act. Everyone's not going to be appeased in these peace talks and this deal making. President Zelenskyy wants securities. We'll give them securities. However, they have to come to the table with more bargaining chips and also more resources. And that could even possibly have more real estate deals. That's what Trump loves to do. So I think they need to come to the table with a little bit more and be more willing to address the real needs here.
We know Trump likes to speak in hyperbole, but he really did up the ante during the confrontation, saying Zelenskyy was gambling with World War III. Let's listen to that.
You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. Right now, you don't have. You're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III.
Oh, it's so hard to watch. Are the stakes really that high? Could what happens in Ukraine set off a global war? You think it could?
Yeah, absolutely. If the peace deal is not done right now, and also with regional support from the UK and also EU leaders, there's a good possibility we will be in World War III, or the prefaces at World War III. Russia has been waiting for this opportunity to go to war with every Western Bloc country, and they have no problem with it. They have the manpower, they have the ammo, they have the tanks, they have everything in between, and we have to just be ready. And this could be the pendulum that actually swings the bat.
What does that mean for the United States?
Unfortunately, we just got out of a 20-year war on two war fronts, two battlefields. I've been to both of them, and I wouldn't be surprised that we're on this battlefield. I don't know if a lot of people know this or not, but actually, there's a lot of veterans, U.S. combat veterans, who are going over there in a volunteer force, and they're fighting with Ukraine alongside with them, and actually teaching them how to fight better. And that's not even being recognized.
Well, President Trump has been skeptical of NATO in the past, Rico, but he seemed somewhat supportive of his European allies during that meeting. Let's go ahead and take a listen, and I'll let you react to this, too.
I'm not aligned with Putin. I'm not aligned with anybody. I'm aligned with the United States of America, and for the good of the world. I'm aligned with the world. So it's not a question of alignment. I'm aligned with the world. I want to get the thing set. I'm aligned with Europe. I want to see if we can get this thing done.
He sort of said three different things. I'm aligned with the United States. I'm aligned with the world. I'm aligned with Europe. So, what do you think? Are our goals still the same?
Yeah, I think the goal is peace, right? But at the same aspect, aligning with different elements of different countries and also being the forefront runner of the United States is very, very crucial. The worst thing we can do is actually have Donald Trump obligate us to some sort of NATO obligation where we're at this tip of the spear of fighting another war. That's the worst thing we can do. And I think it's just a matter of Ukraine and Russia coming together. Remember, they don't like each other. They're not going to like each other. They don't want to like each other. And that makes the whole deal even more difficult. So I think it's a matter of time to say, okay, what do you want? What do we want? Let's see if we can come to reasonability here. And if that means dealing with the devil that you know versus that you don't know, then that's what it is.
Gosh, well, I just hope that this is part of the art of the deal and it's a negotiating tactic. And Trump was walking away, as you do sometimes when things get hard and you're not getting what you want in order to get what you want. National security expert, U.S. Army combat veteran of Iraq and Afghanistan, Ricoh Danielson, appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.